Obesity in Society by Daniel,
Ian,
Connor,
and Landon.
So, first of all, here's some context about what is obesity. Obesity is classically and historically defined as excessive amounts of body fat, and typically it's about a BMI, a body mass index of 35 plus. And obesity can become a factor of many preventable diseases. To name a few, cardiovascular, respiratory, musculoskeletal, gastrointestinal diseases all come from it, as well as joint and muscle problems, insulin resistance, and type 2 diabetes. Approximately in America today, there are 110 million Americans that are obese, over 1/3 of our entire population, as well as 2.1 billion people worldwide that are obese, which is about 3 in every 10 people. Our problem was that in the past 30 years, obesity rates have skyrocketed in some places, and they've nearly tripled. As you can see in this graph, there's 3 bars for each country, 1990, 2000, and 2009, and for each one there's a steady upward slope. It has become a growing concern that will almost certainly lower the quality of life of obese people. Most importantly, however, people living in impoverished areas tend to suffer the greatest amount from obesity, as they don't have access to nutritional foods in areas that we call food deserts.
So our first solution was to prevent childhood obesity in young teens, children, and infants. So there are 2 steps or ways we can do this. The first is to create programs that will go into places that are easily accessible by younger people. So that would be maybe they go into schools, or they go to public conventions, or they're on social media where people can see them easily, and they're trying to kind of make the problem more known and coming up with solutions for the kids. So sometimes that may not work. So the second thing would be to promote better eating options in schools and at home, just all environments. So the pros are these actually lower childhood obesity by providing the information to kids, and by eating healthier, not as fatty foods can bring obesity rates down. So then the cons can be quite costly. So if we look at Michael's, a piece of candy is $2, while a salad can be $4.50. So that could be a con, that it might cost schools more money. And also for the first step, children may not listen. Sometimes they don't absorb the information, but that's where the putting the food in their face kind of comes in, and they can try and experiment with themselves. So the limitations are, this is only a preventable measure. It doesn't eradicate the issue. So pre-existing conditions will still be out there. And that is where other solutions can come in, but this is more of just a way to kind of stop it at the source. So implications, there's a program called Kids Go For Your Life, which is a program mainly based in Australia. It targets younglings and promotes healthy eating. So that's more of an information, it puts it in their face. According to BMC Public Health, they do it by improving the socio-cultural policy and physical environments in children's care and educational settings. So they're more of an informational program. Well, as if you look in the documentary called Supersize Me, which is commonly used in Daniel's essay, the presenter Morgan Spurlock goes to a place called Appleton Central Alternative High School, where they found a program called Natural Ovens, which gives them vegetables and fruits, high vegetable and fruit diets for their lunches. And if you walk into school, you would see a bunch of kids that are their behavioral issues maybe, and they're off. But they've turned that around over the years they've been there by providing healthier options, and it cools the kids down, and it also reduces obesity.
Okay. Another solution to the problem of obesity is the removal of food deserts. Food deserts are defined by the USDA as areas vapid of fresh fruits and vegetables, usually found in low-income areas. This is mostly due to a lack of grocery stores, farmers markets, and other healthy food providers. As you can see here, this chart shows here the severity of food deserts in certain regions of the USA. So that's in the right half, it's a lot worse than the left half, as you can see by the coloration. Some pros to removing food deserts is that it would provide healthy food to areas that don't have them or can't afford them, and it would improve the economy by introducing new businesses. And also, it would lower overall obesity rates. The cons to removing food deserts is that it would, although it introduces healthy options to areas that don't have them, people don't have to make the decision to eat the food. Also, it can be expensive to build the facilities used to sell the product. The limitations of removing a food desert are that because people don't have to make the decision to eat the food provided, it's not always 100% effective. There have been many instances where it has been really effective and some instances where it has been not effective at all, really. Some organizations such as the Food Empowerment Project work to fight food deserts and food insecurity in low-income areas. Small organizations such as these are key to fighting food insecurity and removal of food deserts. The implications of removing food deserts are that options for healthy and wholesome foods will be implemented into areas that do not have them available, creating a healthy, balanced diet for those who eat it.
All right, so we've all decided that solution number one, eliminating obesity in children, is the easiest way to prevent obesity in the future, because stopping childhood obesity will prevent obesity in adults. And this is relatable to killing a virus at its source. We need to eliminate obesity, which is the virus, at its source, which is children. Others would agree that prevention is the strongest cure to ridding obesity. In the BMC Journal of Nutrition, they say almost all public health researchers and clinicians agree that prevention could be the key strategy for controlling the current epidemic of obesity. And that basically sums it all up, saying that ridding it, preventing obesity is the key strategy, but we think that preventing obesity in children will even furthermore prevent obesity. And obesity has been a growing concern in the past years, and there needs to be an effective solution, especially in areas that lack poor nutrition, which are those food deserts. And we believe preventing obesity in children is the most feasible approach, as it lessens the chance of a child becoming obese and staying that way. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. About 7:50 for your time, okay? So we're just under. Here's a couple of questions, and we'll just go straight across. So let's start with Daniel. Reflecting on the work that all those guys did, which one of them would you say had the greatest impact on your current understanding of the problem?
I would say Ian, because he used an economic lens, and I've never really understood that it's like very costly to like maintain a proper nutrition. Like for example, if you go to a farmer's market versus going to like a regular mini mart, it could cost way more to get fruits and vegetables, something like that. And overall in the billions, it's way more costly to actually maintain proper nutrition and good health versus just leading a like greasy food eating life.
Perfect, thanks. And Ian, in what way did you improve your ability to work with a group as a result of this process?
Probably communication, because in previous groups I've been in, I haven't been very good with communicating, but they've kind of started reaching out to me more, which is causing me to reach out to them. And I think we did a really good job of communicating and figuring out what each other needs to do, and figuring out my role in that has helped me improve communication.
Connor, what is an example of a compelling argument from one of these guys' papers that you guys decided to exclude from the final presentation, and why did it get excluded?
So Landon had a good point. His social argument about how people are kind of normalizing being obese and kind of trying to accept it, but we didn't want to introduce that because it wouldn't. Because we're trying to say that we're trying to remove obesity, and just saying that it's okay, like to normalize it, would be the opposite of what we were saying.
Good. And then finally, Landon, in what way Did your team's resolution, like your final solution there, make you think differently about your lens?
About my lens?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, like Connor said, I was saying that obesity, we should try to accept obesity and stop shaming others for being obese, and it like occurs in song lyrics and in other what are they called? Plus size models, that they're trying all to normalize all these ways of being obese, but then saying that obese is actually bad for your health and that it's costly and that it's bad for your health. We should try to remove obesity, especially in children, because we don't want adults to grow up and have all these bad health factors, which could cause them to even die and have really bad health. So learning that preventing obesity in children really helped me understand that normalizing obesity might not be the best plan.
Perfect. Thanks, guys.